Well, if you're heading up to Green Bluff this weekend to pick some fresh fruit, why not pick up a fresh pint of farm fresh beer while you're at it?
Well, Derek Dice has this story of Big Barn Brewing and what makes it unique in our latest edition of Made in the Northwest.
The Dietz family has been farming this land in Green Bluff with its big barn for years. Craig Dietz had been home brewing for years. Then one day he combined the two, starting Big Barn Brewing.
And got licensed in April of 2012. And then we've been brewing and growing ever since.
Dietz and his wife are both retired educators who aren't really retired.
We were wondering why we didn't start our independent business when we were young, because we're working harder than we ever have.
The goal at Big Barn Brewing is to be self-sustaining, using hops, grain, and produce from their own farm.
The fact that I'm putting my hops into my beer, my fruit into my beer, trying to be as local and self-contained as possible is where the passion is. We love the fact that we are a farm-based brewery.
Big Barn grows more than 2 acres of hops in 5 different varieties. Dietz and his son Eli harvest the hops themselves.
In our beers, 75% of my hop usage is from the hops that I grow on the farm. I challenge anybody else in the outside of the Yakima Valley to beat that.
After the hop cones are stripped from the vines in the hopster, the cones are laid out on rows of screens to be dried.
We have 12 to 14 hours per batch on the drying.
The hops are then pressed into pellets and ready to be used in beer. Big Barn even sells its hops to other brewers. The beer is brewed in these tanks inside the big barn, but most of it is poured a few feet away in its tap room, which also has that farm feel.
There are a lot of folks that like the ambience that not only we provide here at Big Barn, but that Green Bluff in general provides. It's a nice community.
Of course, they also come for the beer, like the Blackberry Porter or the Mead Honey Lager. And Big Barn is extremely proud of the medals its beers have won.
There's a lot of beers that go into these contests every year. To pick up a medal suggests that you're doing something right.
And while this farm-based brewery has grown into one of the Spokane area's biggest beer producers, Dietz doesn't see it getting too big.
I think we could even be to the point where if we maintain status quo for a while, that'd be okay.
What he'd really love is for some of his other kids to join him, his wife, and Eli in the family business of farming and making beer in the Big Barn.
To me, that would be a dream come true.
For Made in the Northwest, I'm Derek Dice, 4 News Now.